Acute PYOMYOSITIS. It is infection and suppuration with destruction of the skeletal muscle, commonly due to Staphylococcus aureus, 90%, and Streptococcus pyogenes, occasionally due to gram-negative organisms. It is common in muscles of thigh, gluteal region, shoulder and arm. Precipitating factors are similar to necrotizing fasciitis, trauma, malnutrition, anemia, and immunosuppression. Pain, edema, tenderness over the site with apparently normal overlying skin. Induration and muscle spasm is typical. Fever, jaundice, uremia, acute renal failure are common. Pyomyositis of thigh muscle. Management. Creatine phosphokinase will be very high and signifies acute phase, more than 50,000 units, due to rhabdomyolysis. MRI is useful. US-guided pus aspiration is also done. Treatment is antibiotics, radical wound excision with removal of pus and all necrosed muscle and compartment release. Hemodialysis is needed until recovery if there is renal failure. Later secondary suturing or skin grafting is needed. Surgical site infection. Surgical site infection, SSI, is the second most common complication following surgical procedures, first being postoperative pneumonia, due to virulent bacterial entry, altered wound microenvironment, and changed host defense. Prevention of SSI can be achieved by better preoperative preparation, proper infection control during surgery, adherence to principles of preventive antibiotic therapy, better surgical techniques to reduce hematoma, tissue injury in foreign bodies within the surgical site, prevention of tissue hypoxia with enhanced oxygen support. B. Common sources of infection: XX surgical wards, wounds, ulcers, catheters, drains, sputum, urine, feces, open wounds. XX operation room without proper ventilation, nurses, surgeons. Operation methods: sterilization of instruments. Organisms causing SSI. Commonly Staphylococcus aureus. Any organisms like Clostridia, gram-negative bacteria can cause SSI. Bacteria present in a wound with no signs or symptoms of systemic inflammation is called as colonization, usually less than 105 CFU per milliliter. Transient exposure of a wound to bacteria, usually less than 6 hours, is called as contamination with varying concentration. Sequence of events in surgical wounds. Activation of inflammation occurs by cuts, incisions, abrasions, burns. This initiates inflammation by protein coagulation, platelet aggregation, mast cell activity, release of complements and bradykinin. Phase 1 of inflammation begins with vasodilatation, increased bulk flow, increased vascularity. Later phase 2 of inflammation proceeds with phagocytic infiltration and bacterial phagocytosis, removal of dead tissue with release of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Here tissue injury from incision mobilizes phagocytes before bacterial contamination, leading into prior preparation against infection. If contamination is controlled, monocytes activate to regulate wound healing using myofibrocytes and collagen. If bacterial contamination is not controlled, pro-inflammatory cells release TNF-alpha to stimulate neutrophils for phagocytosis. It also causes release of reactive oxygen and acid hydrolases from lysosomal vacuoles to result in lipid peroxidation, release of interleukins, evoking acute inflammatory response with creation of space-containing pus which contains necrotic tissue, neutrophils, bacteria and proteinaceous fluid with all signs of inflammation, rebound, dollar, calor, tumor. It is typical surgical site infection, SSI. B factors related to SSIXX bacterial entry, inoculum, into the wound occurs through air in operation room, through instruments, through surgeons and theatre staffs, patient's endogenous bacteria like perineum, urine, etc. XX bacterial virulence plays major role in causing SSI, XX microenvironment in the wound like hemoglobin level at surgical site, presence of necrosis which interferes with phagocytosis, presence of dead space and of foreign body in the wound. XX host defenses both natural, innate, and acquired, when altered SSI occurs. Acquired causes are shock, hypoxia, chronic illness, hypoalbuminemia, malnutrition, hypothermia, hypoglycemia, corticosteroids, HIV infection, malignancy and certain drugs. Classification of surgical wounds. Clean wounds, operative procedure does not enter into normally colonized viscous. Clean contaminated, operation enters into a colonized viscous but under elective controlled circumstances. Contaminated wounds, gross contamination is present at the surgical site in the absence of obvious infection. Dirty wounds, surgical procedures performed when active infection is present. Risk classification and identification system. It is based on 3 categories of variables. 1. Those that estimate intrinsic degree of microbial contamination at the surgical site. 2. Those that measure the duration of operation. 3. Host susceptibility markers. Variables that influence SSI. An abdominal operation. 1. Operation lasting more than 2 hours. 1. Surgical site classified as contaminated or dirty, infected. 1. Operation performed on a patient with more than 3 discharge diagnosis. 1. All variables have equal significance. This index twice better at predicting SSI than wound classification. Disadvantage is that it is not operation specific and variables collected at discharge. The National Nosocomial Infections Surveillance (NNIS) system is basic SSI. NNIS system. Operation classified as contaminated or dirty. 1. The patient has an ASA, American Society of Anesthesiology, preoperative assessment score of 3, 4, or 5. 1. Duration exceeds 75th percentile of T point. T point defined as length of time in hours that represents 75th percentile of procedures in NNIS survey. 1. Note: T point for common surgical procedures are coronary artery bypass graft, 5, bile duct, liver or pancreatic surgery, craniotomy, head and neck surgery, 4, colonic surgery, joint prosthesis surgery, vascular surgery, 3, abdominal or vaginal hysterectomy, ventricular shunt, herniorrhaphy, 2, appendectomy, limb amputation, caesarean section, 1. B. Physical status classification. XX Class 1, a patient in normal health. XX Class 2, a patient with mild systemic disease resulting in no functional limitations. XX Class 3, a patient with severe systemic disease that limits activity, but is not incapacitating. XX Class 4, a patient with severe systemic disease that is a constant threat to life. XX Class 5, a moribund patient not likely to survive 24 hours. Classification of surgical site infection, SSI-A. According to the depth of the wound infection. 1. Superficial incisional SSI. It occurs within 30 days of operation, involves only skin and subcutaneous tissue, and one of following: purulent drainage, culture documentation not required, organisms isolated from fluid, tissue of superficial incision, at least one sign of inflammation, wound is deliberately opened by the surgeon or attending physician declares that the wound is infected. A wound is not considered as superficial site infection if stitch abscess is present. If infection is at episiotomy site, burn wound, SSI extends into the fascia or muscle. 2. Deep incisional SSI. It occurs within 30 days of operation or 1 year if an implant is present, involves deep soft tissues of the incision, and at least one of the following: purulent drainage from the deep incision site without organ, space involvement, fascial dehiscence or deliberate separation by surgeon, deep abscess, identified by reparation, histopathology, radiology, surgeon or attending physician declares deep infection present. 3. Organ space infection. It occurs within 30 days or 1 year if an implant is present, involves anatomic structures not opened or manipulated during surgery, and one of the following: pus from a drain placed into organ space, organism isolated by culture, identification of abscess by direct examination, reparation, histopathology, radiology, diagnosis by surgeon or attending physician. Surgical site infection classification is superficial incisional, deep incisional, organ space. Surgical site infection SSI types: A. Superficial incisional SSI, B. Deep incisional SSI, C. Organ space SSI. Classification of wound infection according to the etiology: A. Primary infection where the wound is the primary site of infection. B. Secondary infection arises following a complication that is not directly related to the wound. C. Classification of wound infections according to the time: A. An early infection presents within 30 days of a surgical procedure. B. An intermediate infection occurs between 1 month and 3 months afterwards. C. Late infection occurs in more than 3 months after surgery. D. Classification of wound infections according to the severity: A. Minor wound infection if there is discharge without cellulitis or deep tissue destruction. B. Major if the discharge of pus is associated with tissue breakdown, partial or total dehiscence of the deep fascial layers of the wound, or if systemic illness is present. Note: please refer first page of this chapter for Southampton Wound Grading System in Asepsis Wound Score System. Prevention of SSI. 1. Preoperative cleaning and antiseptic scrub of surgical site. Skin is colonized by various bacteria, mainly Staphylococcus aureus, 50%. Preoperative skin wash using chlorhexidine decreases bacterial colonization by 80% and so wound contamination. Surgical site to be shaved or clipped in the operation theater. Shaving should be done in the theater itself or within 2 hours of beginning of the surgery, otherwise infection rate may rise. Clean wound infection after shaving is 2.3%, after clipping it is 1.7%, without shaving or clipping it is 0.9%. However, selective shaving is definitely needed in area like scalp, axilla, groin, and perineum. Surgery should be avoided or postponed if fingers or hand of surgeon has open wounds or infection. Obvious infection in patient if exists should be treated. Prolonged preoperative admission should be avoided for an elective surgery. 2. Care in the operation theater. One should ensure that sterile caps, masks, gowns and sterile gloves are used. Proper skin cleaning is needed on table after anesthesia using antiseptics like povidone iodine. One should ensure that all drapes are dry throughout the procedure and all instruments are thoroughly sterilized. Unimpregnated plastic drapes are avoided as it is found that it does not have any advantage. Gentle tissue handling, absolute hemostasis, holding tissues using instruments as much as possible, using appropriate suture materials, avoiding dead space during closure are certain essential on-table tips to reduce SSI. One should consider leaving wounds open if it is severely contaminated. 3. Preventive antibiotic therapy. It is used whenever high risk of infection is associated with the procedure and consequences of infection if possibly severe and if patient has a high NNIS risk index. Antibiotics should be administered close to the time of incision before induction of anesthesia. Selected antibiotics should have activity against likely pathogens. Postoperative systemic antibiotics for 24 hours, beyond 24 hours not shown to reduce SSI. Benefit of preoperative antibiotics in NNIS risk 0 index is difficult to assess and quantify. Proper techniques in wound microenvironment are more important than antibiotics. Preventive systemic antibiotics not to be used to prevent nosocomial infections. Oral antibiotic, bowel preparation with appropriate mechanical bowel preparation. If systemic antibiotics are to be used, antibiotics of longer half-life are to be chosen. Very long procedures should have a redosing strategy during the procedure. 4. Enhancement of host defenses. Increased oxygen delivery facilitates phagocytic eradication of microbes. Optimizing core body temperature is important as warmer patients resist bacteria better. Blood glucose control is essential even to non-diabetics as well. Management of SSI. SSI is managed depending on the type of SSI, superficial, deep or organ space. All infected material and pus should be removed from the wound site, debridement. Sutures are removed to allow free drainage of infected material. Infected fluid is sent for culture and sensitivity and suitable antibiotics are started. Once wound shows signs of healing by healthy granulation tissue, secondary suturing is done. Often it is allowed to heal by scarring. Different definitions. Contamination. Bacteria are on the wound surface. No division is occurring. Colonization. Bacteria are dividing. Topical infection, critical colonization. Bacteria are dividing and have invaded the wound surface. There may be an increasing variety of bacteria present, biofilm may be present. Local infection. Bacteria and or their products have invaded the local tissue. Regional, spreading infection, cellulitis. Bacteria and or their products have invaded the surrounding tissue. Sepsis. Bacteria and or their products have entered the bloodstream and may have spread to distant sites or organs.